Hello and welcome to a quick little tutorial on how I set up my Magic the Gathering proxies on the computer side. I start by going to my deck building website of choice, new deck, make sure it's not private because we need MTG Proxy Printer to fetch the deck list. Once you make the deck list, you can select the prints of choice. All you have to do that on Archidekt is click the arrow, click all printings, and you can select what set you want the image to be from. Do not select any foil images because it'll print off whatever scanned foil is on there. Then be careful for the Phyrexian ones because I always miss the little symbol. Once you have that done, select the hyperlink for your deck list and copy it. Now we're done with Archidekt. We can open up MTG Proxy Printer. That's when we'll go to File, import your deck list. If you don't use Archidekt, you can hover over the pastable box here. And it'll tell you what sites are good to import from. So now we're going to download the deck list. Select Next, get the Scry file images, hit Finish. Double check your images are correct. If they are, we can go to File, Export, Export individual card images. Save it to where you want it to save. I have it in the test folder on my desktop. So once you click OK, you're not going to get like a dialog saying it's done, but it'll be like really fast. So go to Upscale, which is my image upscaler of choice. I'll go to Batch Upscale, select the folder in which they are at. The AI model we're using is digital art. Image scale will be 4 times. The output folder is just going to be the same folder. Then we're going to go upscale. I already upscaled them, so I don't need to do it again. Now, whenever that's done, we go to MTG Proxy Printer again. We're just going to discard that page. And then, File, add custom cards now, load images, navigate to wherever you upscaled them, wherever you saved the upscaled images at, and we're going to load them up. So it's going to load, but we want to make sure that the images were actually upscaled. Obviously, they were, and this is pretty essential, I think, because the scan will have texture of the Magic card. You don't want that because the photo you're going to be printing out will have texture from the paper that you're using. So now that we have our upscaled images, we're ready to export, but we should change some settings first and edit document settings. I like print cut markers on. You also select what type of paper you're using if you want it in portrait or landscape. Remember, portrait mode is 9 for ANSI A, and landscape mode will be 8 cards. I leave the margins 5 mil, row spacing just 1 mil. I don't use any card weight because I use a rotary cutter. So save that. If you don't want to do that every time you open up Proxy Printer, you can just go to Application Settings, Default Document Settings, and then change all that there, and it'll just be saved. So now that we have our PDF ready to be made, you click Create a PDF. Save it to where we've been saving everything else at. Now we're done. So we're going to open up Photoshop, and we're going to import our PDF into Photoshop. Well, if you don't have Photoshop, that's fine. All you have to do is convert a PDF into a TIFF. So we're going to import our PDF. I put anti-aliased on or leave it on. I can't remember if it comes default like that. I don't change any of these settings besides resolution. I bump it from 300 to 360 ppi. You can change it to CMYK or 16-bit, but I wouldn't. You can, but if you do, go back and print another one off at the other 8-bit, 16-bit RGB CMYK to see if it really changes anything. And then if you do think it changes and you like a certain one more, use that. So now that we're in Photoshop with the PDF imported, we're going to save it. It automatically wants you to save it as a TIFF. Just go through the dialog boxes, default. Yep. So now we're in a TIFF. We're going to go File, Automate, Epson Print Layout. That's going to just open up Epson Print Layout and import the image for us automatically. Say you already have it open and you do that. Well, it just doesn't. It does it for you, but it just doesn't bring the application to the foreground. You don't even have to do it through Photoshop. Just open up Epson Print Layout, open the TIFF, and import it. You can't open PDFs in here, so that's why we have to use TIFF. So we have our TIFF in here now, our cards. If this is the first time you doing it, I know that I have the scale to fit at borderless mode. If you don't know what your margins have to be or your image size, what you can do, and if you don't want to waste good paper and ink, put some shitty paper in there. And the way to save on ink, go back into Photoshop, use M, which is like the selection tool. Just bound a box over one card, right click, select inverse, and then just delete everything else. Obviously make sure that you don't have like something like that there, but you can just import one card, save the TIFF, import the one card into EPL, and then just mess with the settings until you get the right card size when you print it out. Like I said, I know I have to scale to fit at borderless mode. You might not have to do that the way you set your PDF up. So printer is obvious. We're going to use the 8550. The media type is semi-gloss because that's the paper I'm using. I'm using ANSI A. I want it in borderless from the rear feed. I want the quality at high. Leave it standard. If you're printing in landscape, change it to landscape, or vice versa. You can't change any of these settings because we're scaled to fit. Printer manager colors. We don't want that. We want to use ICC profile. Well, I'm using Photo Pearl paper. So we're good to go. Also, rendering intent, perceptual, relative. I just leave this there because I like the way it comes out. I've never not changed these, or I've never changed them, so I don't know how they look if I don't use that. Well, the paper I'm using has ICC, which we can find on that specific manufacturer's site. Honda Mule provides ICCs. You just download it, select Epson or whatever printer you're using, and you can download it, right? So I'll give you a zip. You can download it from, or you can install it from the zip. It also has a PDF. It'll tell you to use the premium semi-gloss setting at high. So that's why mine are set like that. Sometimes it wants you to use like velvet fine art paper at standard mode. So just do what it says, see how it prints, and if you don't like it, then you mess with the settings. I trust the printer manufacturer more than I trust myself, but we have to change one more setting before we print. Go to your printers and scanning Windows device panel. Click the printer that we're going to be printing from. Go to printing preferences so we get this dialog box open. We want to go to more options. We want to turn off bidirectional printing. So once we do that and save it, we're good to print. All that does is slow down printing. Because what I found when I print on portrait mode without that, even if I have my print heads aligned and all that good settings, the maintenance done on my printer, I still get less than good text on the bottom row of my magic cards. So now we're good to print. So click print. Now that it's print, like I said, it's going to take a while. So make a Google Doc of the, put all this information in, or whatever information you want. The printer paper. Did you use an ICC profile? What kind of media type did you use to print? Did you use the bidirectional printing or unidirectional? If you can't tell the difference between the unidirectional and the bidirectional printing, then leave it on the bidirectional printing. It's going to print faster. Obviously, high quality or standard quality. The PhotoReg Duo requires, like I said, Velvet Fine Art and Standard. It looks good, but so does this. What I have found when I print at standard quality, the clarity of the text does get a little shittier, but proxies are subjective, so try it in both. These are also very subjective. The colors, the blacks, the clarity, the texture of the paper once the image is printed on it. Orientation's obvious, landscape, portrait. And then after I let it dry for an hour or two, I mean, you really don't have to, but I just let it do it. I'll laminate the top row or the bottom row, double-sided, because sometimes I'll single-side laminate it, like another row. Sometimes I like the feel of it not all laminated. Cutting is just, did I cut the paper? Did I cut the cards out? Snap. After I laminate it, I'll snap the top and bottom together. So I'll fold them back together, and does the card snap back? I want it to snap back, so that's a good thing. A bad snap would be I fold them back and they snap, but then the card actually snaps itself. So there's a crease. I don't like that. Obviously, if you don't want to snap your cards, don't do it. Cost is really easy. I'll go to B&H. I'll find the paper that I'm using, and I'll tell ChatGPT to output it however you want it to be. I want ChatGPT to tell me how many sheets at how much the price, and then I want it to break it down to price per sheet, price per card in landscape, price per card in portrait. Sometimes I want it in Super B instead of ANSI A. So 21 cards and 20 cards. Then I'll just copy paste that there, and then the ID is very important. You want this ID number on the back of your cards so you know how you printed it out so you can duplicate it. Thoughts is also obvious. I always type this in for the Hanamule cards because it tells me how to print it. And then, I'll type stuff like, ooh, this makes me reconsider the ICC profile, right? So what I did with that, I've already printed PT 101 before. So we go up to PT 101. Well, you can see I have 2 tests. So that's why this test ID is 3 and this test ID is 8. Obviously, that's just the way I do it. So I think this is very essential to proxy making so you can replicate cards. Testing is very important. That's the fun part too, is buying sample packs. I did not spend $33 on these pieces of paper. Because guess what? Hanamule has sample pages. Just buy some that look good, right? I bought these 3, so you'll get 2 sheets of 8 types. So you can do, some changes. 5, you get 10 sheets. This one's another, 10 sheets. Moab also has sample packs. I would not buy this sample pack. I would buy their swatch pack. Because guess what? The 8550 can print 4x6 in the cassette one. All you have to do is rip this plastic thing off. I just cut it with some side cutters so I could rip the pages out. Because in between like these pages is the actual paper. It's only $5. So just buy like 2 or 3 of them if you want to print multiple times. What I found, I don't really like molded paper. I love the Slick Rock Metallic Pearl 260. I also enjoy, let's see, the Luster. So that's another, like, you just come back to your dock and like, hey, what kind of printer paper do I like? See if it's on sale. Like ChatGPT can like make sale tables for you, so you can like go back to make sure the paper's on sale when you buy it. It'd be crazy to buy $70 for 25 sheets. In all reality, it's only 32 cents a sheet. But do you want to be printing off on fucking these papers all the time? No, not really. I'd buy sample packs and then buy the, the reams. So that's how I do the computer side, with a little bit of post computer side. Cutting, just a rotary cutter, a doll. And then I sleeve it and it feels good. And that's all that matters. Proxies is very subjective. So you just gotta like test things out. Like the Canon paper, Platinum's really good. I like Epson Luster. Even like the Walmart brand Photo Gloss looks really good. Because like once you laminate it, put it in a sleeve, you can't really tell sometimes. Unless you're really handling a lot of paper. Some people just like 110-pound cardstock with like matte texture. And if that's what you like, that's what you print, dude. It's simple as that. Like, make a doc for yourself so you know how to redo everything. Because if like you stop making proxies for 7 months, you come back, you're like, oh, I forgot how to do everything. So just type out everything you do. Make a video. Type everything you think about a piece of paper. And if you want, share it. But proxy printing is very fun. And like I said, actually, I don't think I said it. If you want a 1-for-1 magic card or one that like really feels and looks like it, you're not going to do that at home. I'm sorry to say. You need good printers and a certain type of like that black core 330, And if you want that, just use MPC. Make playing cards. Use MPC fill to put your cards in, to export them, and it'll automatically put them in MPC. I bought 6 commander decks with 100 plus cards with tokens and all that for only like $200, and they're like competitive CEDH cards, decks, and they look and feel good. Obviously, you can't have anything copyrighted from it, Wizards, but if you're playing with reasonable people, normal people, it's fine. Like, I don't play in tournaments, but I play with the homies at work and the homies in the pod, and everyone's cool. So that's all that matters. Is have fun. Have fun making decks, have fun making proxies, and have fun playing. You don't need the 8550 to print good proxies. You can use a 3850. If you go here and you go to R&R Silverhands, he has a printer tier list. I wish I would have bought a 2850 instead of a 3850. Because, you go here, $200 for a printer? No. Search it. Do the refurb. A refurbed one is $140. And you get the Epson warranty. So, don't think you need to spend a lot of money on a printer. You don't. Just buy an EcoTank printer and you'll be set. Try different papers, and once you find a paper or a laminate or whatever you want, sticker paper on cardstock, sticker paper, clear sticker paper on a foil sheet. You know, there's a lot of things you can do, and it's really fun. So have fun doing it, man. See ya. If you need questions, type them down, and I'll try to answer them. A lot of this information is repeated over and over again on the internet, so there's not, like, if someone's making you pay for information, don't do it. That's stupid. So please, don't pay for free information. Everything's out there. People just siphon the information and try to, like, you know, people are lazy and they don't want to look for the information, but it's out there. So just don't be lazy, guys. All right, see ya.